Do not skip this message, because heaven arranged this moment for you. If you leave now, you may miss what your soul has been praying for. I am Archangel Michael, and I come where fear ends and truth is revealed. I come gently, but I do not come without urgency. You have been wondering why things felt delayed and why silence surrounded you. You thought heaven was quiet, but heaven has been watching. The angels are speaking your name even now. They speak it with reverence, not disappointment. You were tested, not to break you, but to reveal you. And you did not even know the test was happening. Someone close to your heart watched you carefully. They were measuring not your words, but your spirit. They wanted to see if your honesty would remain when it cost you something. They wanted to know if your truth would survive uncertainty. You chose integrity when no one was applauding you. You chose sincerity when it would have been easier to pretend. That choice did not go unnoticed. Heaven recorded it. The moment they realized who you truly were, their heart collapsed inward. Tears came not from weakness, but from awakening. They did not expect purity where pain once lived. They did not expect light where they assumed defense. You broke something in them without raising your voice. You healed something in them without trying. They tested you quietly because they were afraid. Afraid of being wrong again. Afraid of hoping again. Afraid of trusting what looks too good to be true. But when truth stood still and did not move, their walls fell. And when the walls fell, the tears followed. Heaven is watching this unfolding with precision. Nothing here is accidental. You thought you were being overlooked. You were actually being prepared. There are seasons when God hides his work to protect it. This was one of those seasons. You were shaped in silence, strengthened in waiting, refined in moments when you questioned your own worth. Yet you stayed kind. You stayed honest. You stayed real. That is why protection surrounds you now. That is why breakthrough is forming quietly. The person who tested you feels exposed by your consistency. Your steadiness revealed their chaos. Your calm revealed their wounds. And instead of running, they broke down. Those tears were prayers they never knew how to speak. Those tears were surrender. You are not late. You are right on divine time. What is coming toward you cannot arrive until your character could carry it. Now it can. I see the nights you cried without answers. I see the questions you whispered into the dark. Heaven did not ignore them. Heaven guarded you while you waited. You are being prepared for something big, bigger than you imagined when you first asked for help. What felt like rejection was redirection. What felt like loss was alignment. Even now, angels are standing watch around your name. They are ensuring no counterfeit enters your future. The person who doubted you now sees clearly, and clarity changes everything. They see that your love is safe. They see that your truth is rare. This does not end in confusion. It ends in restoration. Take a breath. You are protected. Take another breath. You are not alone. What heaven started, heaven will finish. And what was tested will now be honored. Stay open. Stay gentle. The next message will reveal what happens after the tears. Listen when it comes, because it carries peace. The tears were only the beginning, not the conclusion. What follows is understanding, and understanding changes destiny. You felt the shift before you could explain it. Something softened in the air around you. That was not imagination. That was alignment. When truth is revealed, heaven moves closer, and heaven has moved very close to you now. The person who tested you is replaying moments in their mind, moments they once dismissed. Your patience, your restraint, your honesty when dishonesty would have protected you. They see it now, and what they see humbles them, because purity exposes fear. They are realizing you were never playing a game. You were being yourself the whole time. That realization carries weight. It carries repentance. They are asking themselves why they doubted what felt peaceful, why they suspected what felt safe. This is not your burden to fix. This is their awakening to face. You were not meant to chase validation. You were meant to stand in truth. And you did, even when it hurt. That is why heaven is shielding you now. That is why confusion is being removed. What comes next requires discernment, not fear. You will notice conversations change. Energy shifts. Honesty comes toward you instead of away from you, because honesty recognizes its own kind. Do not shrink now. Do not over-explain. You do not need to defend what heaven has already confirmed. Let peace speak for you. There is a divine protection around your heart. Nothing manipulative can cross it. Nothing deceptive can stay hidden. Light is too strong here. If reconciliation is meant to happen, it will happen gently, without pressure. If distance is required, it will feel peaceful, not painful. Either way, you win, because your integrity stayed intact. Heaven values that more than outcomes, more than timing. You are learning that not everyone who questions you is against you. Some are wounded and afraid, but that does not make your truth less valuable. It makes it more rare. This season is teaching you discernment without bitterness, strength without hardness. That is sacred work, and it is noticed. You may feel emotional waves rising unexpectedly. Let them pass through you. They are releasing old weight. They are making room. What is coming next requires space in your spirit, and you are creating it without force. I am standing guard over your peace. Do not fear sudden changes. They are answers arriving, not disruptions. You are not losing anything meant for you. You are shedding what cannot go forward. Trust this. Heaven is precise. Soon, clarity will speak plainly. You will not have to guess. Until then, rest in knowing this. You were honest. You were kind. You were real. And that truth moved a heart to tears. That truth moved heaven to action. Stay with this message. The next divine whisper carries confirmation. The confirmation will come quietly, not with noise. It will arrive the way peace arrives, without needing permission. You may notice a message, a pause, or an unexpected apology. Do not rush to interpret it. Let truth unfold at its own pace. Divine timing does not need assistance. The one who tested you is now being tested themselves. Not by you, by their own conscience, by the truth they tried to measure. They are realizing that what they feared losing was never the danger. What they feared facing was their own vulnerability. Your honesty became a mirror, and mirrors can be uncomfortable. Do not take responsibility for their tears. Those tears were necessary. They washed away suspicion. They softened pride. Heaven sometimes allows testing so healing can reach places words cannot. This was one of those moments. You were positioned as a catalyst, not a casualty, and you remained standing. That is why your spirit feels tired but clear, exhausted but lighter. You are crossing a threshold now, not backward, forward, into discernment, into relationships that no longer require masks, into conversations that feel safe. This does not mean everything will be perfect. It means it will be honest. And honesty is the foundation heaven builds on. Always. I see your desire to be understood. That desire is not wrong. But understand this. You are already known. Heaven knows you completely. And heaven approves. What comes next will test your patience one last time. But it will not test your worth. You may be tempted to revisit old doubts. Do not. Those doubts were not from truth. They were from waiting too long without answers. Answers are arriving now. Layer by layer. You will feel a calm certainty replacing anxiety. That is your sign. You do not need to chase clarity. Clarity is moving toward you. I am guarding your next steps. No confusion will follow you forward. Trust the stillness you feel. It is not emptiness. It is readiness. It is preparation. Heaven is making space for what you asked for long ago, and it is doing it gently. The one who cried will not forget this moment. It marked them, whether they come closer or step back. They now see truth differently, and you can release the need to be proven. You already were. Rest now, not in resignation, in assurance. You are safe. You are guided. You are watched over. The next message will speak about what unfolds after honesty is honored. Stay open to it, because it carries peace, direction, and quiet joy. What unfolds next will feel almost ordinary, yet it will change everything. That is how heaven often works. You will notice peace arriving before explanation. Do not question it. Peace is the evidence that truth has settled, and truth has settled in your favor. The one who tested you will begin to speak differently, less guarded, more sincere, more careful with your heart. You may sense hesitation mixed with respect. That is humility learning how to walk. Do not demand outcomes. Allow revelation to finish its work. What was exposed cannot return to hiding. Light does not forget where it has been. You were not meant to prove yourself endlessly. You were meant to be revealed once. That revelation has already occurred. Now comes choice. Their choice, not yours. Your responsibility is lighter now. Your burden has shifted back to where it belongs. You carried more than you should have. Heaven saw that. That is why relief is entering quietly, like a soft breath after storm. Do not confuse calm with emptiness. This calm is protection. It is heaven saying, "Rest. I have this." And I do. You may still feel moments of emotion rise unexpectedly. Let them come. They are not setbacks. They are releases. You are closing a chapter that required courage. You did not know you had, and you carried it with grace. This season taught you how to stay true without becoming hard. That is rare. That is sacred. That is noticed. Soon, you will see why the test had to happen this way. Why honesty had to stand alone for a moment. What is coming next needs trust without suspicion. And now, that foundation exists. You are stepping into a phase where love does not interrogate you, where connection does not feel like trial. This does not mean there will be no challenges. It means there will be no confusion about your worth. You are done auditioning for acceptance. You are already chosen. Heaven is watching over your next interactions. Angels are guarding the tone, the timing, the truth. Nothing rushed will survive. Nothing forced will last. What remains will be real, and real will feel gentle. If reconciliation comes, it will come with humility. If separation comes, it will come with peace. Either path leads you forward. Neither path diminishes you. Trust the quiet strength growing in you. That is wisdom forming. You no longer need to explain who you are. Your presence already does. Stay open. Stay grounded. When truth is finally trusted, something sacred relaxes. The tension you carried loosens its grip. You will notice yourself breathing deeper without trying. That is your spirit standing down from defense. You no longer need to rehearse explanations. You no longer need to anticipate misunderstanding. What understands you will find you naturally. What doubts you will drift away quietly. This is not loss. This is sorting. Heaven is separating what can walk with you from what cannot, and it is doing so with mercy. You may feel moments of tenderness rise unexpectedly. Memories, hopes you thought you buried. Let them surface gently. They are not here to hurt you. They are here to be healed. The one who tested you now carries respect in their silence. They are learning how to approach truth without suspicion. That learning takes time. Do not rush it. You are not responsible for their pace. You are responsible for your peace. I am guarding that peace closely. Nothing will take it from you without permission. You will soon recognize a subtle shift in how you see yourself. Less questioning, more knowing, more stillness. That stillness is authority forming. Quiet authority. The kind that does not announce itself. The kind heaven trusts. You are stepping into a season where your honesty becomes a refuge for others. Not because you try to save them, but because you are safe. And safety is rare that do not be surprised if people open up to you unexpectedly. Truth recognizes sanctuary. But remember this, you do not have to carry what is not yours. Compassion does not require self-abandonment. Wisdom will guide you now. You have learned when to speak and when to remain still. Both are holy. Both are powerful. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is not loud. It is relational. It is emotional. It is internal. And it is already happening. Even if nothing looks dramatic yet. Trust the unseen work. Heaven specializes in it. Soon, clarity will no longer come in fragments. It will come whole. You will know what to accept. You will know what to release. And you will do it without fear. Without regret. Because you are no longer trying to earn what was already given. You are learning how to receive it. Rest in this moment. Let it settle. After trust is restored. Growth begins quietly. Not rushed. Not forced. But steady. You will feel less urgency to control outcomes. That is surrender maturing. You will stop replaying old conversations in your mind. That is freedom settling in. The heart that once tested you now understands the cost of doubt. They are learning that truth does not need surveillance. This understanding changes how they show up, or how they step aside. Both are acts of respect. Both honor your spirit. You may notice that you no longer crave reassurance the way you once did. That is self-trust awakening. You survived uncertainty without losing yourself. That gave you roots. Deep roots. Unshakable roots. Heaven strengthens those who remain honest in silence. You were strengthened. You were protected when you did not know you needed protection. You were guided when answers felt far away. Now the fog is lifting, and clarity feels gentle instead of sharp. This is how you know it is divine. It brings peace, not pressure. What grows next in your life will not demand you prove anything. It will invite you to be present. You will recognize it by how safe your heart feels, by how calm your spirit remains. Do not be afraid of slow unfolding. Slow is how permanence is built. Heaven does not rush what is meant to last. Neither should you. You are no longer defined by who questioned you. You are defined by how you stayed true. That truth has altered your path in ways you cannot fully see yet, but you will. Soon, at the right time. For now, remain gentle with yourself. You carried more than you realized. Release the need to revisit what has already been healed. Do not reopen doors heaven has closed quietly. Your future requires your presence, not your past explanations. And you are ready. I remain near, watching, guarding, guiding. When the next divine whisper reaches you, listen with an open heart. It will confirm what you already feel forming inside. You are safe. You are chosen. And what is coming will honor the honesty you never abandoned. As what is coming draws nearer, you may feel moments of stillness deepen. This is not delay. This is alignment locking into place. Heaven does not rush alignment. You are learning to trust what feels calm instead of what feels intense. That is maturity of the soul. Intensity once felt like passion to you. Now peace feels like truth. This shift is protecting you from cycles that once drained you. You are no longer attracted to uncertainty disguised as depth. Your spirit now recognizes consistency as sacred, and heaven smiles at that. The one who tested you senses this change. They feel it even if they cannot name it. Your energy no longer seeks approval. It simply exists. That quiet confidence is what broke them open. That is why the tears came. Truth without demand disarms fear. And you embodied that. You may notice that conversations feel shorter but clearer. Less explanation, more understanding. That is progress. You are no longer walking on emotional eggshells. You are walking on solid ground. If reconciliation unfolds, it will be built on respect, not suspicion. If distance unfolds, it will carry closure, not confusion. Either way, heaven remains with you, unmoved, unshaken, faithful. Do not fear the quiet days ahead. They are restoring you. Your nervous system is learning safety again. Your heart is relearning rest. This is holy work happening inside you. Do not rush it. You may feel gratitude rise for lessons you once resented. That is healing completing its circle. Nothing you endured was wasted. Nothing was overlooked. Heaven counts endurance as victory. And you endured with honesty. Soon, joy will return in subtle ways. A laugh that surprises you. A sense of lightness you forgot existed. These are signs. They tell you that your soul is no longer bracing for impact. It is opening for life. Stay present. Stay gentle. I am still near. Still guarding what matters. When the next message reaches you, receive it without fear. It will remind you of how far you have come. You are not the same person who entered this test. You are stronger, clearer, free, and heaven is pleased. Freedom will feel unfamiliar at first, not because it is wrong, but because you lived so long in vigilance. Your heart learned to stay alert. Now it is learning how to rest, and rest takes practice. Do not judge yourself if you reach for old habits. Awareness is already healing them. You no longer need to scan for hidden meanings. What comes to you next will be clear. Clear in intention. Clear in tone. Clear in action. Heaven insists on clarity now. You have earned simplicity through endurance. You have earned peace through honesty. The test you passed was not about perfection. It was about alignment. And you aligned with truth even when it felt lonely. That matters more than you know. You may notice doors closing without resistance. This is not rejection. This is release without struggle. A sign of growth. What no longer resonates will not cling to you. What belongs will remain without force. You are stepping into relationships where honesty is mutual, where trust is not interrogated, where tears are shared, not hidden. This is the fruit of your season. The one who cried will carry this lesson forward, whether they walk beside you or not. Your truth changed them, and that is enough. You are not responsible for the outcome of their healing. You were responsible only for staying true, and you did, faithfully. Heaven honors faithfulness more than results. Always has. As you move forward, listen to your inner calm. It will guide you better than fear ever did. You will recognize divine alignment by how natural it feels. No tension, no games, no proving, just presence, just sincerity. This is not the end of your story. It is the end of striving. The chapter ahead is written in cooperation, not resistance, in peace, not pressure. I remain with you as you step into it, unseen, but near, guarding your heart, strengthening your discernment. When the next divine message finds you, listen slowly. It will speak of joy returning in ways you did not expect. You are safe now. You are ready now. And heaven is still watching over you. Joy will not rush in like a storm. It will arrive like morning light. Soft, certain. You may not recognize it at first, but you will feel less heavy. You will smile without forcing it. You will rest without guilt. That is how you will know healing has taken root. It no longer asks for attention. It simply lives. Quietly. The part of you that once waited for something to go wrong will slowly relax. You are not losing awareness. You are gaining trust. And trust is strength refined. You may still remember the pain, but it will no longer define your decisions. Memory will lose its grip. Wisdom will take its place. This is what heaven intended all along. Not to harden you, but to anchor you, so nothing fragile could claim you again. The honesty that was tested now becomes your covering. It shields you from confusion. It filters what enters your life and what cannot. You do not need to announce this change. Others will feel it. They will treat you differently, more carefully, more respectfully, because clarity commands respect. The one who once questioned, you will never forget the moment truth stood still. That moment changed them, even if they never say it out loud. Heaven heard it, and heaven responds to sincerity. Always. You are no longer being tested. You are being trusted. That is a different season, and it carries favor. You may notice opportunities aligning without strain, people showing up without manipulation, support appearing without conditions. These are confirmations. Do not rush to label them. Receive them gently. Your soul is learning how to receive without bracing. That is new. That is holy. And it is safe now. If fear whispers that peace will not last, let it pass. Fear speaks from memory. Truth speaks from presence. Stay present. I am still here, closer than you think, guiding what you cannot see yet, protecting what matters most. The next divine whisper will speak of purpose unfolding naturally, not demanded, not delayed, but revealed. Stay open to it, because it will remind you of something important. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. Preparation always looks like waiting from the outside, but inside, heaven was arranging strength. You thought you were standing still. You were actually being anchored. So when purpose arrives, it will not sweep you away. It will stand with you. Purpose does not shout. It resonates. You will recognize it by how natural it feels to be yourself. No effort, no disguise, no fear of being seen. The season ahead will ask you to trust what feels steady, not what feels dramatic. Drama once convinced you something mattered. Now peace confirms it. This is wisdom earned, and heaven honors earned wisdom. You may feel called to speak less and observe more. That is discernment sharpening. Not everyone needs access to your heart. Not everyone deserves your truth. But those who do will meet honesty with honesty. No testing. No suspicion. No hidden measures. The person who tested you served a purpose without knowing it. They revealed what you could withstand. They revealed what you would not become. And that matters. You did not grow bitter. You did not grow cold. You grew clear. And clarity is power that does not need to announce itself. As days unfold, you will notice gratitude rising where resentment once lived. That is a sign of completion. The lesson has landed. The cycle has closed. You do not need to revisit it again. Heaven has sealed it gently. What belongs to your future will recognize you without investigation. It will feel familiar to your spirit, like something you always knew was possible, but had to become ready for. I want you to hear this clearly. You did nothing wrong by being honest. You did nothing foolish by staying kind. You did nothing weak by remaining open. Those choices shaped your protection. They built your covering, and they positioned you for what is next, which will not require you to shrink. You will not be asked to dim your truth or explain your worth. You will be met where you stand, fully. Receive that with humility, but also with confidence, because heaven stands behind you, and heaven does not misplace its trust. Rest now. Let this message settle into you. When the next divine whisper reaches you, listen without expectation. It will speak softly, but it will confirm everything your heart already knows. You are aligned, you are protected, and you are walking forward with heaven beside you. Walking forward will feel quieter than you imagined, but it will feel right. You will not need signs shouted from the sky. Peace will be enough confirmation. You may notice that your reactions have changed. What once triggered you now passes through gently. That is healing maturing. That is strength settling in. You are no longer moved by the fear of being misunderstood. You are anchored in knowing who you are. That knowing is unshakable, and it is heaven given. There will be moments when you look back and barely recognize the version of you that endured the test. Not because you judge them, but because you honor them. They carried you here. The honesty that once felt risky now feels like home. You no longer negotiate with your conscience. You live in alignment with it. That is freedom. You may feel called to set gentle boundaries without guilt. This is not hardness. This is wisdom. This is self-respect sanctified by heaven. Those who belong will not resist your boundaries. They will thank you for them, because clarity creates safety, and safety allows love to grow. Do not be surprised if your intuition feels sharper now. You earned that discernment. You listened when silence taught you. You waited when impatience tempted you. Heaven refines those who wait without corruption. You were refined. What comes next will not test your honesty again. That lesson is complete. Now you are entering a season of confirmation. Small confirmations. Consistent confirmations. The kind that build trust slowly and lastingly. You may see patterns align effortlessly. Conversations flowing without strain. Decisions becoming easier. This is alignment expressing itself. Remember this when doubt tries to return. Doubt speaks loudly when it is losing ground. Do not engage it. Let it pass. Your spirit now recognizes truth by how settled it feels. Honor that signal. You are not naive. You are discerning. You are not unguarded. You are protected. And you are not alone. Never were. As you continue, keep your heart soft and your boundaries clear. That balance is sacred. I remain near as you move forward. Not to rush you, not to pressure you, but to guard what heaven has entrusted to you. When the next divine whisper reaches you, listen slowly. It will speak of purpose meeting peace, and you will know without doubt, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Being where you are meant to be will feel steady, not overwhelming. You will not feel pulled in opposing directions anymore. Your yes will be clear. Your no will be gentle, and neither will require explanation. That is authority settling into place. You are learning that clarity does not need volume. It needs truth. The season ahead will honor your nervous system. It will not exhaust you to prove its worth. What comes from heaven brings rest alongside purpose, not confusion alongside desire. You may notice that your prayers feel different now. Less desperate, more trusting, more conversational. That is intimacy forming. You are no longer pleading to be seen. You are walking with awareness that you already are, and always have been. The memory of being tested will soften over time. It will lose its sting. It will become wisdom stored quietly in you, not a wound. You will know how to recognize truth faster now, not by words alone, but by consistency, by peace, by how your body responds in its presence. Heaven speaks through that too. The one who once watched you will now remember you as the moment they encountered honesty without performance. That encounter changed them. Even if your paths diverge, truth leaves fingerprints on the soul. Release any need to know the full outcome. Some seeds grow where you will never stand again. That does not make them less meaningful. It makes them eternal. You are stepping into a quieter confidence now. One that does not need to compare. One that does not need to rush. One that trusts divine timing deeply. This confidence will attract what aligns naturally and repel what does not without effort. You do not need to protect yourself aggressively anymore. Discernment will do that for you. You have learned how to listen inwardly. That is guidance refined. If moments of doubt return, meet them with kindness, not fear. Say to yourself, I am safe now, because you are. Heaven is not finished with you, but it is pleased with how you walk through the fire. You did not lose yourself. You found yourself, and what you found is worthy of honor, worthy of peace. Stay gentle with the unfolding. Do not rush the next chapter. It is already moving toward you, with intention, with protection, with grace. When you feel led, listen to the next divine message. It will speak of what opens when you stop doubting your own light. Until then, rest in this knowing. You were tested, you were truthful, and heaven stood with you every moment. When you stop doubting your own light, life responds differently. Doors no longer hesitate. People no longer test you. They recognize you. You will feel this shift before you see it. A subtle confidence settling into your bones. Not pride. Assurance. Assurance that you do not need to be smaller to be accepted. Assurance that honesty is not a liability. Heaven never asked you to dim yourself. It asked you to remain true. And you did, even when it cost you comfort. That choice echoes now. It echoes in places you cannot see yet. You may feel moments of quiet gratitude wash over you. Receive them. They are signs that your soul recognizes safety again, that your heart is no longer bracing for disappointment. This does not mean pain will never visit again. It means pain will no longer rule you. You are learning to trust your inner witness, the still voice that speaks without fear. That voice is aligned with heaven. It will not mislead you. The person who once tested you has learned something irreversible. They learned that truth does not bend under observation. That lesson will guide their future choices, whether with you or without you. Release any lingering attachment to how things should resolve. Divine resolution often looks different than human expectation, but it always carries peace. And peace is your confirmation. You may notice that your presence feels grounding to others now. That is not accidental. You carry clarity, and clarity calms what is chaotic. Be mindful not to overgive. Balance is sacred. You are allowed to be generous without being depleted. Heaven honors boundaries that protect purpose.